Hello and welcome, I'm Izzy at Minerva. In today's video we are going to look at how to hack our very own Minerva Exclusive Iris Cardigan sewing pattern. Now this pattern, as you can see next to me, is a sleeveless cardigan with a loose open front. Now we are going to hack this today to create a boxy cardigan, so shorter than it is currently, and we're also going to add some cute little buttons to it. Now this is going to be a really lovely little transformation. We're going to work on it together and I'm going to show you how to adapt the pattern pieces. Now in this little series where we look at how to hack the Iris cardigan and give you a couple of inspirational ideas on how to change the pattern, you'll notice that we've got a couple of little changes to this one, which is to shorten it, make it boxy and add some buttons. But we've also got other hack videos which show you how to add sleeves and do all sorts of other things. So you can kind of play about and combine all these different ideas that we're showing you on the videos to create your very own unique hack. So the format of today's video is that I'm going to show you how to hack and change and alter the pattern pieces, and then I'm going to show you how to sew up the hacked version. Now as I sew up the hacked version, I'm only going to show you the steps that differ from the ones that are in the instruction booklet. So if you want further support with how to sew and how to follow the basic instructions for the original pattern, please do refer to our Minerva playlist, which is on our YouTube channel, where we have a fantastic little sew along that completely shows you how to sew up the garment in its original design. And if you're not sure what type of fabric to select, we've also got a fabulous fabric recommendation video available for you to take a look at too. So loads of support online, and of course in addition to that I've also filmed a fit video that looks at how to fit and alter this pattern to fit your body beautifully. So if you need extra support, please refer to those 3 videos. As you sew along today with me, you're going to need your standard sort of pattern drafting tools listed here, and you'll notice that you've got the Iris cardigan there. That's available to purchase on our website, and obviously we will link it in the description below. In today's video I am wearing the Rydal jumpsuit by Zoso Studio, and that pattern is available to purchase on our website. We'll link it below. This is sewn up in our Minerva Core Range modal loopback French terry. This is a stretch knit fabric. This is the dark petrol and this is the midnight. And I just love the block opportunities, the sort of colour blocks that you can play around with this garment. Okay, in front of us here we've got the back and the front. The very first thing we're going to do is to crop it to the length that we want. Now obviously this is just a design preference. You can choose where you want to crop it. If you want to refer to this little guide on page 7, it does show where the critical aspects are for the pattern. The slit, which we can see here, is at the hips, and then the waist is usually around 20 centimeters above the hips. I want my cropped cardigan to sit just below the waist, in between the waist and the hips. So I'm just actually going to start off by marking a point that is 10 centimeters above the slit. So just right there. Now I know that my hemline is 2.5 centimeters allowance in my hemline, so I'm actually going to mark that point there. So this then represents, this line here represents where my hemline is going to go, and I feel like proportionally that looks pretty good. So guys at home, you just have a little play with that. Put the pieces of paper up against your body if you want to check the length that you want, and then draw in your new hemline. Don't forget about that 2.5 centimeter hem allowance where it's going to turn up as well. So if that's where I want it, I'm very happy to draw my hemline at 10 centimeters above the slit there. So I'm going to mark the same over here on my front pattern piece. Okay, and then very simply just draw a line across both pattern pieces. So that represents the cut line, and then 2.5 centimeters above that, that is then going to represent our cropped hem line. So I'm actually going to mark that on as well using a little dashed line. Okay, let's cut along that solid line. And that is all we need to do to the back and the front pattern pieces. Okay, now let's take a look at the neckband, which does need a little bit more attention. So with our neckband, the notch, this notch here represents and lines up with this one here on the front, and obviously the bottom edge is all the way down here. So all we need to do to this pattern piece is actually just cut it at the same point we did for the front, and remove that section too. Now, on the pattern piece, this piece will actually be folded in half and then it will be attached onto here. So the actual width of this piece, when we see it visually, will only be 1.5 centimeters wide, which isn't very wide for buttons and buttonholes because we want kind of like boxy aesthetic. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to look at increasing the width of the neckband. What that also helps us to do is it also means we've got a bit of extra overlap around the front so that we can pull the garment on top of itself. And so that's really going to help us. Now at this point we've got a couple of design decisions to make. So grab your fabric that you're going to be using, and for me I have chosen to use this Minerva Exclusive Blossom Eclipse Pointiroma double stretch knit fabric. Now this has a great recovery rate. It's got 40% stretch across the width just from selvage to selvage and about 20% stretch down the length of the fabric, so it's got a little bit of give that way, but in terms of width ways it's got a significant amount more. I'm going to make it out of this fabric. So the buttons that I've picked are these ones, which you can find on our website. They're the hemline ones and they just look so gorgeous with that. So what I'm really looking at here is the scale of the buttons in proportion to how much and how wide I want this band to be. So my button is just 2 centimeters wide in total. So I think I want this strip that the button stand is going to go on, I think I want it to be 3 centimeters wide in total. That feels like a really nice sort of comfortable width, and is just double the width that we've got currently. So if I want my strip of fabric, my kind of neckband, to be 3 centimeters wide, it's going to be folded over in half. So it needs to be at least, well, it needs to be 6 centimeters wide to be folded in half. But then we also then need to add our seam allowance to either side. So what we need to do is to create a piece that is 9 centimeters wide in total. Our current band is only 6. So let's widen it. Okay, so my new band width, I want it to be 9 centimeters wide in total. So just mark a series of points that are 9 centimeters offset from your original pattern piece, and then just draw a nice little line all the way down to extend it the length it needs to be. At the centre back seam, just continue it along so you created a nice big rectangle. And then obviously also we just want to annotate where our notch is. For me, I'm cutting pattern piece G, so I'm just going to add my little notch and extend it at that point there. And also this one here. Perfect. Let's cut that out now. And there we have it. Our pattern pieces are all adapted. I'm now going to go and cut that out of fabric. Come back and join me in a few minutes and we will sew it up together. I'll be demonstrating any of the key changes that you need to make in addition to the instructions that we have in our booklet. In step 1, we are going to prepare the neckband by sewing it together up at the top centre back seam like that. What we also then need to do is we need to add 2 little pieces of interfacing down at the bottom on the inside, obviously, of this piece. And that's simply because we're going to be adding our buttons and our buttonholes onto this area, so it needs to be slightly reinforced. So all we're going to do is from that first notch, the first notch from the bottom, we're just going to apply a piece of interfacing on one side down there and the same on the other side. And then once you've done that and you've applied that, we can then move on to step 2. In step 2, we have just sewn the shoulder seams together, so there's no change there, and we've just pressed the seam allowance towards the back. Now the next step, step 3, is us to sew the side seams, which is exactly what we're going to do, but we can ignore the section about the slits down at the bottom. We are just very simply going to pin it with right sides together, like that, and then just sew down both of those 2 sides like that using a standard seam allowance and overlock. Then move on and do step 5 as per the instructions. You've got a couple of options for how you want to hem your armholes in the bottom, and they're the same for our pattern hack. There's no alterations to that step. Once you've chosen which option you want, step 5 or step 6, step 7 we can just ignore because we're not doing the slit opening at this stage, and again ignore step 8 and 9. We are then going to drop on and do step 10, which is attaching the neckband. Again, there are 2 options for how to do this, option 1 or option 2. So we can just do that in exactly the same way. And once you've got your neckband attached, then we'll come back and we'll take a look at how to place our buttons. Okay, at this point, we have done everything that we need to do and we've followed all the instructions. What we need to do next is just to add our gorgeous little buttons. Now the buttons are going to go on the left hand side as we wear the garment, and the buttonholes will go on the right hand side of the garment as we wear it. So buttons on this side and buttonholes on this side. I've got my handy little sewing gauge here, which is going to help me just get a nice even distribution for 3 buttons in this area. Now if we grab our pattern piece and line it up with the bottom down here, we can see that this is where the notch is, and that indicates where the curve of the top of the cardigan needs to sit. So I'm just going to pop a little pin into this location on that side, because that is where the top of the curve is, and I don't want to interrupt that. That's also where our interfacing is as well. So then grabbing our seam gauge, all I want to do is just sort of mark on where a nice even distribution for 3 of our buttonholes would be. So looking at this, I'd say this is the top of the first one here. That looks really nice. I'm just going to pop a pin in at the top there as a little guide. And another one here. You could obviously use chalk if you would prefer to. And my third and final one here. Now I want my buttonholes to actually go down from that point down, from that point down, and that point down when I sew. So I don't want the buttonholes to be like that. I want them to be parallel with the centre front effectively. So I'm going to sew the buttonholes now using my buttonhole foot on my sewing machine, and then we can just sew the buttons on after that. Excellent. So there we have it, 3 gorgeous little buttonholes. And now we're just going to cut those holes out and sew our buttons. So pop a pin through the top of one of the buttonholes and just use your unpicker to very carefully just create that buttonhole in the gap between the 2 stitch lines. And that pin at the top just prevents you from accidentally creating too large a hole for your buttons. Excellent. So our final step then is just to sew the 3 little buttons on to this side here, and then let's go and see what it looks like. And here is our little cropped iris cardigan. It is looking all boxy and cropped and has some beautiful little buttons up the front. I really like how the weight of the fabric just helps create that gorgeous boxy shape in this cardigan. And you could wear this just as I've shown it here, or put a long sleeve t-shirt on for the winter. It's just really versatile and I really love this shape. I think this might become a wardrobe staple. And so there we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've been Izzy at Minerva. Do come back and follow us. Check out our playlist as we look at how to hack the iris cardigan in multiple ways. It's a brilliant base to be super creative with, and I hope you have loads of fun at home adapting your iris cardigan. If you've been hacking the pattern at home, please do tag us on social media or create your own free account on our Minerva website, where you can join with our lovely Minerva makers, sharing your creations, tagging your products so other people can see what you've been making. It's a lovely, encouraging community, so do come and join us online. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.